and welcome to ET Now Startup Central, the first and only daily show in India dedicated to startups and entrepreneurship. I'm Karunya Rao. We have a power-packed show lined up for you over the next few minutes. But our top focus today will be the point-of-sale payment solution company Pine Labs, which is all set to acquire gift card solutions provider Qwikcilver. The deal is been valued at $110 million. Qwikcilver was founded back in 2006 by Pratap, TP and Sudarshan. Reports suggest that the company's annualized gross transaction value is almost $1.5 billion. Amazon, Systema Asia Fund, Axel India and Helion Venture Partners are some of the big investors that are interested and invested in this startup. So let's talk about this deal, this transaction that has been announced. We're now being joined by the co-founder of Qwikcilver, Pratap TP. Pratap, thank you so much for joining us on Startup Central right here on ET Now, and congratulations on the exit. Could you start with talking to us about what led to the deal with Pine Labs? Why Pine Labs and why now? Why would you, what were the triggers that led you to go through this deal?
Yep. Thank you. Good evening. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
So, speaking from our office here in Koramangala in Bangalore, supposedly the hub of all activity in the startup ecosystem in India. And the team is pretty bullish, happy, and see this as one culmination of a fantastic voyage, gifted voyage that we've had over the last decade plus in our SaaS cloud-hosted multi-tenanted platform existence. And at the same time, we also see that this is a pit stop as we still continue on the voyage, of creating a global ecosystem for gift cards and prepaid stored value solutions for multiple markets, multiple customers with various use cases that are further going to be scaled up over time. And coming to the specific transaction, this is on the one hand, while it's a testimony to the efforts that our team has put in over the last many years, it's also testimony to the trust and faith reposed in us by our more than 500 plus enterprise customers across India and international markets in the Middle East and Southeast Asia, and also the trust that our marquee investors have reposed in us over the years, because building and scaling a category which didn't exist earlier involved evangelizing and pioneering the category rather than in a B2B ecosystem. And there were many naysayers who told us that it's better for us to be focusing on other markets rather than India. India is tough. B2B ecosystem in India is very difficult. Enterprise standard, global standards product building in India is very difficult. But whether we were stupid, whether we were foolish, but at the same time we just stuck to our knitting. We just decided to focus on this category over the times, and that possibly has helped us build this leadership, build this ecosystem in India, because we were singularly focused on building the gift card industry in India, notwithstanding what many individuals told us, many well-wishers told us, because we just believed that India was hot. India is continuing to be hot at a time when retail markets were scaling up, the online markets were scaling up. So that's the framework in which we were actually building the market. Right. And
Pratap, allow me to interrupt you there. Now, Pine Labs has indicated that the teams will function separately and the founders, including you, will continue in your role. There are a lot of synergies clearly which can be executed. So give us a glimpse of what happens next.
Yes, because as a company, we are extremely delighted to be working with an entity like a Pine Lab, because who we very sincerely and mutually respect for what they have done. So both of our organizations have been in the market over a tremendous period of time. These are not, for instance, while we have been a decade plus in the market, a company like a Pine Labs has been in the market for almost practically 2 decades. And so each of us has earned our spurs. We have kind of learned the market, built the market over a long period of time in India. So while we are startups in every sense of the term, we have kind of proven the concept and taken the product to market successfully in our respective ecosystems. So there's a healthy mutual respect for each other, and as you said, that we do believe that there is tremendous headroom still for growth in the category. That's precisely one of the reasons why a large organization like Pine Labs has seen potential and synergies for us to be working together and scaling up together. And in spite of the fact that we've been growing by 200% as a category adoption over the last 4 years. And the teams are going to continue. Everything is business as usual. In fact, the team is going to be that much more wiser, that much more stronger, that much more driven as we work. While it's independently, we too can kind of call on the immense presence of Pine Labs on the market, with a wider presence of merchants, wider presence of technology integrations between the Qwikcilver platform and the Pine Labs platform. Thereby, both our customers can see far more effective, far more novel solutions and products which can be launched in the market over the coming period of time. And that's where we see the synergies which can be leveraged, because we have been focused on the closed loop and the semi-closed loop gift card ecosystem. And we see that the next phase of growth can be by having an integration with a strong player like Pine Labs, which has got more than 300,000 points of sale Pratap, which have been deployed across the market.
Right. Pratap, we're a tad bit pressed on time, so very quickly then, as a closing comment, I'd like to know, gifting card solutions was not really quite the trend when you started back in 2006. So how were you able to scale up and get strategic investors on board? What has been your biggest learning over the last 13 years odd?
Biggest learnings, I would say, continue to remain focused on what you set out to do, and I think success will come your way. I think that's been one. So have a clear vision of what you see as where you want to be, and chalk out that, and have a strong team which is believing in the cause along with you. So that's been one singular aspect of us, that the team has been passionate over this entire journey. We've had the strong team which has worked together and believed in this and retained the energy, retained the zeal, retained the passion for building this product platform and the ecosystem, and be true to your word. That's one thing that I think, remain humble, remain true to your product proposition, and don't promise more than what you can deliver. Under-deliver is not going to be working. You could probably under-promise and over-deliver. But at the same time, what is important is that we just need to be clear as to what you want to set out to do and stick to that, rather than try to spray around in the dark.
Great. Pleasure chatting with you, Pratap. I wish we had a tad bit more time to discuss things in a more elaborate way, but we're a little pressed on time. But really appreciate you talking to us about this big transaction, this big exit that Qwikcilver has made. Moving on to a